Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. We are Millennial Mom. If you don't know who is who, I'm Millennial. This is Mom. All right, here we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, I'm Mom or Kay from Millennial Mom, and today we are back for 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, Season 9, Episode 6. Episode is called Frankly, My Dear, I Don't Give a Damn. Hey, listen, that's how I felt about this whole entire episode. I also don't give a damn, okay, because the episode was boring. Let's get to the nitty gritty. And I do believe, and I said this before, that when you have couples that's been on the show previously, they've been on a Pillow Talk, different series of 90 Day Fiancé, sometimes things get a little bit dry. And since we already know some of the outcomes of some of these couples, what are you showing us? We have to go with the flow until the next franchise season starts. So hello to everyone watching live. Hello to everyone in the replay. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Everyone hit that like button. And if you are live and or on the replay, let me know what you think about these couples and what do you think about this season so far? Is it dry? Is it boring? Are we ready for the tell-all? I'm going to say yes, I'm ready for the tell-all. So hello, Miss Tamika, how you doing? And yes, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Oh, Miss Ma'am. Hey, girl. Hey, Miss Sandra, a.k.a. Millennial. How you doing, girl? I'm going to text you after the show. And you know what? Let me go ahead and do this for you. Oh, I can't do it right now. Anyway, so on the episode, we have Gino and Jasmine. Okay. Georgi and Darcey. I really need them to get Georgi and Darcey's storyline going because we already know how Gino and Jasmine's played out. But Georgi and Darcey, let's get that rolling, okay? Tigerlilly and Adnan, I mean, they were here for their little 15 minutes. Karen Guillermo, another 15-minute shot right there. And then the quick scene of Loren, Alex, Yara and Jovi, another 15 minutes. And as well as Elizabeth and Andrei. Now, listen, this did not have to be a 2-hour episode at all. Could have been one and done, 1 hour with commercials. We're out of here because what came on the, thank you, girl. What came on the episode wasn't, really worth a lot of time, but hey, we're here anyways. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with, you know what? Would you say, Tamika, definitely ready for the tell-all? Absolutely ready for the tell-all. So you know what? I'm going to drop the link. So if anybody wants to come up, we're not going to be on this live very long because, like I said, nothing really happened. Okay. Like nothing really to serve interest, at least to me. Maybe y'all thought differently, but this episode, like I said, let's just roll along. So if you're able to join the live chat, you can. It's under Millennial Mom in the comments. Just click the link and I will see you backstage. If not, go ahead and continue in the comments. I really appreciate it. 2 hours is ridiculous, especially for this season of Happily Ever After, because like I said, we already know half the stuff that's gone on anyways. So where do I start first? Where do I start? You know what? I'm going to go ahead and start with Tigerlilly and Adnan, get them out the way. So Tigerlilly is taking Adnan to meet a doula who best fits their needs because Tigerlilly is about to have their baby boy. And Adnan, of course, wants her to follow his religious beliefs and guidelines that no man other than him should be touching her. This includes a doctor. Okay, so she's finding a doula. And you would think that Tigerlilly wouldn't be so naive as we're watching this show. I mean, in some instance, she tries to like assert herself like, I will do it on my own time. I will think about it when I want to think about it. And then in other scenes, it's like, okay, baby. Okay, I'm like, girl, get it together. It truly is like watching, like, for me, like mother talking to her son. And again, or, like the opposite of the TV show 16 and Pregnant is giving that, except Tigerlilly is way beyond the 16 and pregnant vibe, but it still gives that vibe, if you know what I mean. Especially when it comes to Adnan, they're 20 years apart in age, and it's like talking to like a young teenage. I know he's like 20 something, but he still gives teenage vibes to me. You know what I'm saying? It just gives that 16 and pregnant thing just on the cougar side of it. So she's got to, like calm him down, and they walk into the doula for the place of doulas that assist with birthing babies, right? They're all women, and they have different statues of women's bodies, things like that. He's like, what is this? Breast here, breast there. I'm just so uncomfortable. And I'm like, why are we watching this? Why? Like, Tigerlilly, this don't get old to you. This is cute to you. Like I said, to me, it gives 16 and pregnant vibes, but they're there because not only to pick out a doula to help with the birthing process, but also after she gives birth, some women like to eat their placenta or have it made into a powder for different, health benefits. I personally did not do that with the birth of my two now adult children. Absolutely not. Didn't even cross my mind. And yay, that's what they have pre and postnatal vitamins for. But some people do that. And so Tigerlilly wants to do that for the health benefits from it. And of course, Adnan is like, ugh, why you bring me here? Why you doing all this and that? I'm like, at this point, don't have them back on the show on any episodes until she actually has that baby. And then, we can go ahead and see how he's going to evolve as a father. Because up until now, their conversation back and forth, for me, it's not working for me. Like I said, for me, it's not working. And really, they're not giving too many real life conversations. Like, she's like trying to tell him what the birds and the bees are about. He knows about the bees and how to get the honey. Adnan knows how to get the honey from Tigerlilly, but he don't know about the birds and the bees and the afterlife and all that stuff too. So anyways, would you say, Tamika, you sick of them? Absolutely, same. And you said he's so she needs some bass in her voice. I think she thinks she's got bass in her voice. Like, no, especially like, you can't be driving me around. You're gonna be a mate, girl. Get out of here. Ugh. Tamika, you also say, I don't either, but I heard it's a lot of nutrition and good for you. I mean, listen, things come and go, but if that's what you're into, hey, that's you. I didn't. Pre and postnatal vitamins. All right. Enough of Tigerlilly and Adnan for me. All right, we're going to move on to, let's just go ahead and go up to Georgi and Darcey. Now, before they meet Georgi's parents, we're getting a lot of behind the scenes with them, and they go out shopping, and there's still some little tension with the dinner that they had when, Darcey's like, oh, so you're embarrassed of me? You don't think that your family would like me? You don't think this and that? Listen, Georgi has already told you before you even came over to Moldova for your honeymoon, right? That his family is looking for him to be with a traditional Bulgarian woman. And, he would like for Darcey to tone down her clothes, her shoes, just her whole aesthetic. But to me, it's a little late to change those aesthetics, because as soon as you see Darcey, just her facial features, you can't miss it, right? Now, if she could cover up, fine, whatever. So, last week, okay, Miss Tamika in the chat said that, Georgi was saying how, you're my princess. And Tamika was like, that's the wrong choice. I'm supposed to be your queen. Okay, exactly. I'm the queen. I'm not the princess. So it's another one of those like age gap things where, at least Adnan is in his 20s. You could kind of like see where he's not mature, but Georgi is like pushing 40 and Darcey is 50. And to me, there's no connection between Georgi and Darcey. He's just there for the ride and for the fame every go around of the 90-day seasons. And so to me, the cringe in their episode was when they were in confessional. The whole entire scene for me, the kiss, did they really kiss, or did her new lips get in the way? And she's making like little innuendos like, oh, maybe, we could pretend like we're in France and we can French kiss. And I'm like, girl. And then she's like, I'm good at that too. You getting a little, and I was like, can we just like pause scene here? Because and I'm sure a lot of us don't want to hear about any of that with Darcey. Okay. And I'm not sure, but I can just imagine, because Darcey comes across as a pick-me. And if she's not a pick-me, then she crashes out, that she would do anything for Georgi, and it's not reciprocated for her. And you can see that as the scene goes on later, is that, when they get to talking before Darcey and Georgi go meet up with his friends, another Georgi, and I think his name's Stefan, when they're talking over dinner and Darcey doesn't like the dinner of tripe or whatever, how she's saying that, she wants to get back on the same page with Georgi. She wants to get back on the same page. I want to know why you're not on the same page. Okay. She don't know where he works. She wants to know if he really has like a new position. She goes, I want to be proud of your new position and what you do and all this and that. Like, who don't know this about their spouse? Who? So to me, this is not, what kind of relationship is this? If you have to constantly ask, what do you do? Are you really at work? It just like, got your head on the swivel because you don't know where your man is. I've suggested previously that I don't think they really live together for real. Like they just do this for the scene, the check or whatever, because how Sway, how is it you don't know, again, what to do? Anyways, as they meet Georgi's friends later, like I said, Georgi and Stefan, the friends are reminiscing about old times and how both Georgis used to live together as roommates. And here goes Darcey like, oh, what was that like? Oh, was there any girls involved? Oh, I mean, hello. Friends living together. They have girls in and out, young ladies dating, bachelors. Why wouldn't they? And so you can see Darcey kind of like getting like stress on her face. Like, what was that like? I'm like, girl, you cannot still get, well, yeah, you can. She wasn't even around it. Think about getting jealous of something that happened like way before your time, way before your time is ridiculous. She's too old for that. That's just me. I know I'm preaching to the choir right now, but hey, we got two women, I just talked about Tigerlilly and Darcey, who are too old to be doing the things that they're doing with these younger men and expecting a different result. Is it just me? I don't know. It could be just me. I just don't let me speak for y'all. Y'all let me know. What'd you say, Tamika? You said Georgi took one for the team. Most definitely took one for the team. All right. Well, anyways, Georgi is telling his friends how, he's going to finally bring a woman home to meet his family. He hasn't seen his parents in 13 years, and he just really wants Darcey to play the role. And I'm like, if you don't think she can play the role, why did you marry her? And why do you want her to fit in a particular shell? That's just me. So, which leads me to believe that, y'all really aren't together for real. Tamika, you said, I'm sure girls was involved. They weren't together. Why does it matter? Exactly. And hey, Jazz, you said Darcey's been goofy the whole time. A crash out, burnout, more than goofy. But hey, what do I know? And Tamika, it's not just you. All right, good. All right, I'm done talking about them. This live is not going to be very long. Like I said, it was kind of boring. Nothing truly happened that was exciting. Okay. In my opinion, let's jump to Kara and Guillermo or Gino. So Kara's getting ready for her performance of her new song at the club. She's all brokenhearted. Well, that's how she's trying to come across, right? That she misses Guillermo and they haven't spoken. She's like, it's really complicated. I miss my husband. I know I told him to move out. He wasn't supportive of my dreams or anything like that. But, he thought I was cheating and I really wasn't doing anything. I mean, Kara, the way it was described by Guillermo and the way it was described by you, how you was laughing and joking and he was like, oh, what are you doing on your phone? Like nothing, and snatching stuff away. Okay, that would lead to being suspicious, right? Because if the shoe was on the other foot, you'd be suspicious too, Kara. And so, Kara's, getting ready for her new single to come out. She's Guillermo had said in previous episodes she's out staying out late drinking. Her clothes have changed, and just there's just a different dynamic of what's going on. So he's like, I don't know what's going on. We're not sleeping together, literally. We're in different rooms. We're technically husband and wife, but we're not acting as husband and wife. We're really living as roommates. And so he has a problem with what's going on. And Kara's just like, that's just you. And, even if you're not doing anything, it gives the illusion as if you possibly are. Tamika, you said she knew he wasn't coming. She just put him out. Exactly. But she's hoping while she's getting ready for her show in an hour or two. She's telling her backup dancers and her friends, whatever, like, I really hope he comes through. She knows it's going to be uncomfortable, but if he really loves and supports her, he would come through tonight to watch the show. And she said she got a babysitter. So, there's no reason why he can't come. And in confessional, Kara's friend was like, listen, he knows she has a show, and I know their relationship isn't good, but if he wants to save the relationship, he should be here with her. And I'm like, yeah, but y'all, the friends, probably don't even know the real background. You only know what is being told to you by Kara. And I'm not saying she's saying anything that would be more in her favor, but I mean, it's just a whole lot going on extra behind the scenes, right? So she puts on the show and he's not there. And she's like, we see her later at home taking off her jewelry. And Kara is just like, I'm just really disappointed he didn't come, and just all in the woe is me. It's giving selfish. All the things that Guillermo said, yes, he maybe didn't have the most steady job or whatever. And, all the things he was trying to do, and especially when he was talking about going to the Air Force or to get some training to become a pilot, whatever, and going into the military, you have benefits and housing and things like that for you and your spouse as they're married and their son, right? And Kara, a couple episodes ago, was like, I'm not doing that. You'd be gone away from me. You'd be gone away from Nico, their son. And, I'm just not going to travel along. My family is here. You need to be with us here. But when it's a dream of hers, right, then it's like, she wants support. You can't have it both ways. It's got to be some type of compromise. And when you get to a point in a relationship when there's no compromise, you're living separately, things like that, it's time to break it off before more damage is done and there's really no coming back to even being friends, in my opinion. So then when we see Guillermo, I was like, where he at? Because production caught him outside in the dark, for real. It looked like he was like out in the woods in a cabin or something, but I guess he was just at his rental house, and there was no lights around wherever he was, okay? It was like the production light, or like the light I got shining on me. And he's trying to talk about he building a hammock to give him something to do. And production's like, so you didn't want to go to see the show? And Guillermo's like, no. What do I want to see the show for? She put me out. We're not communicating. He says Kara's been drinking. She's being very suspicious. She's keeping her phone away from him. And her outfits have changed, all these things that I mentioned a few moments ago. And he said, you know what? You do you. He told Kara, you do you. You do your life. You do your thing. I'm happy for you. And he did say that he did miss what they had before in the relationship. He could look back on the pictures now when they met Dominican Republic and different things. He said stuff like that will make him cry, but they're not there right now. He said that's she's doing her own thing, and it just is what it is. And you could kind of see that when they first came on the show. It was like something is definitely wrong, but it's starting to come out a little bit more and more now. All right, let's move to a quick scene with Loren, Alex, Yara, and Jovi. They meet up for dinner. Yara says, she don't usually go on double dates, but she's working hard to be friends with Loren, and she just moved to Miami with Jovi, and so she really doesn't know anybody, have any really friends, met any new friends right now, so she's happy to get out. So the conversation starts about Yara's lunch party with the dog accessories that she's trying to build her business and brand, right? And if y'all remember them pictures from last week, I know she didn't use none of Loren's pictures to get the brand done. You know, she clearly had to either take pictures of herself with her own phone or have Jovi do it, because those pictures was whack with a capital W. So Loren makes a joke about bringing her friend Noga to the lunch party. Now, if y'all remember from the first episode, Noga is Loren's friend, best friend, who came to the dinner party, who got into it with Andrei, right? And so, you know, it's like, oh no, I'm just joking, right? But then Yara was like, so what happened with Elizabeth and Andrei? Are they still in Moldova? They're like, yeah, they're still in Moldova. And then Loren's husband, Alex, was like, yeah, I wonder if Andrei told her about losing that $75,000. And Loren and Yara was like, 75,000, right? You can see it in their minds. And Jovi was like, no, we're not supposed to say nothing like that. We're not supposed to talk about that. That's supposed to be confidential. Alex was like, what? No, he didn't say it weren't confidential. He was just like, just don't be telling everybody. I mean, confidential and telling people outside your group, I guess, is he don't want you to tell nobody, especially the wives, right? And you're always like, well, shoot. Now I'm sorry that I even heard this, because it's hard for me to keep a secret. I was like, oh my gosh, right? And Loren was like, yeah, you know, how can I like keep this to myself? Let me see what you say, Jess. You said this double days wait until you're married for a secret. LOL, we're shocked. Right. So then they get to confessional with Loren and her husband, Alex. And, you know, he's in the confessional. I'm not going to say talking smack, but he's talking smack. Like, you know, if he didn't want to tell us to say anything, he shouldn't have told us. But again, if you feel you could talk to your friend about something, you should be able to talk to your friend about something, right? And since Jovi knew, maybe he thought everyone knew. I don't know what Alex thought, but it does not surprise me that Andrei lost money in whatever investment and Elizabeth doesn't know the exact details of it. So I don't know. I mean, what's his name? Alex didn't think it was that big of a deal that he even said anything out loud. I'm like, okay, well, whatever. You're going to find out soon enough, especially when Andrei finds out that you spilled the secret and nobody was supposed to know. That's just me. Whatever. All right. Let's move to Gino and Jasmine. Oh my gosh. The whore from Vegas has come to town, everyone. The whore. I said the nerve. The nerve. I know I'm jumping forward, but I just want to get it started with the whore from Vegas. Okay. Anyways, Gino has invited his friend Natalie to come attend his cousin's birthday party in Michigan. And she came and she had a nice hotel room. It was nice enough for her. I have seen like honeymoon suites or suites with a tub or hot tub in the room, but I've never seen one with the hot tub like literally right next to the bed. Like maybe like in the middle, like down by the bathroom, but not like you roll out of bed and someone like trip and bust their head on the tub that's right, who's ever on the right side of the bed, right? But whatever, that's the room they got. So this whole thing to me, this whole scene from start to finish was a little cringe, especially from Gino's part, and then especially from Gino's family's part. Just the fact that Gino invited Natalie, regardless of how he met her, to come out to Michigan. She took her time to come. She took her time to get her, I'm sure she got her own hotel room. I'm sure it was nothing had to do with Gino. You know, she seemed nice enough to do whatever. Gino came to the hotel room. They got in the hot tub. Gino was like, I really can't do anything because I don't feel comfortable. In confessional, Gino was like, she does kind of look like Jasmine. She's Latina. She has, similar body parts that I like, blah, blah, blah. To the next day, meeting back up with Natalie, and Natalie was like, so, I was mad at you before, but now I thought it through. Have you talked to Jasmine and how are you feeling? And maybe you have PTSD from your experience with her. And, Gino's trying to like talk it down, but it's like, yeah, everything will be okay. And then when you move into the actual birthday party, I see your comment, Jess. When you move to the actual birthday party, now here's my thing. Now, Gino's family members, it was Shannon's birthday, his uncle's wife, Michelle, birthday party. Even though you're cool with Jasmine, okay, and you can invite who you want to, it's just like the whole, like, it kind of seemed like Gino's family was like, to me, there's no team Jasmine, team Natalie, but they were like team Jasmine, because Jasmine came in with all the, oh, it's the horn from Vegas, it's the horn. And they just look like, they were just like looking like, oh, okay, you tell her, girl. Like, not like, Jasmine, can we talk to you? We're going to try to have a nice party, all this other stuff, right? Like, what was that about? And then Jasmine pushing the lady, Natalie, and everything, just going off, and like, everyone's just like standing around and looking. And I'm like, Gino's not intervening. Matt's not intervening with Jasmine, like, you know, separate ways. And if we can't be here, like, we'll leave and we'll see you guys later. Like, the nerve of it all. Jazz, you said, the audacity of Jasmine is crazy. You're in here introducing your roommate, and Matt Gino brought another woman. Exactly. Called Matt her roommate, not her boyfriend, because Matt's nose is wide open. Okay. And we already know the results. You have a baby about to be a year old, right? So he's more than your roommate. And just the fact of, you know, with your husband, yeah, you have an open relationship, and you knew that Gino, so you can have an open relationship, but Gino can't, right? And then to me is when Gino's family member, the birthday party who was for Michelle, was like, what'd she say? She was like, well, I mean, you were just hanging out with Jasmine, you know, last week. Does Natalie know that? You know, stuff like that. And I'm like, but Gino didn't hang out with Jasmine on his own. He hung out with her because you suggested that Jasmine wasn't over Gino, for them to come together and see if they could clear the air and get things out the way. It's not like they were on a date. You know what I'm saying? So to me, the whole thing was messy. Now, when Natalie went outside and she was telling Gino, she's like, this is too messy. I can't believe Jasmine's doing this. Matter of fact, her fillers don't match her face. Now, I thought that was funny. Her fillers don't match it. Just going off. She's like, I blame you, Gino. I blame you for getting me into this because you should have known. And Gino's just like, you're right. You're right. No, Natalie was actually right. Now, I have heard that she might be a paid actress. I don't know what she is or whatnot. She's on the show. But the point is, she was right. Gino should have had that together. And if Jasmine, like I said, the family and Matt should have interviewed Jasmine if she couldn't, you know, keep it down. And then in confessional, Jasmine's like, oh, I blacked out. And if anybody comes and wants to come around my husband and my family, I was like, Jasmine, get off my screen. Okay? Get off my screen. This is ridiculous. I'm showing you behind. And she still won the fight. I was like, you know what? I can't. Gino, like I said, I'm sticking to this. I'm sticking to my theory. Y'all can't even convince me differently. Gino and Jasmine owe TLC some money, in my opinion, because there's no way, no reason, no rhyme why all this is still happening. And this is pre the baby, pre finding out Jasmine is pregnant. Come on now. This is too much. What y'all think? Y'all think it's too much? I mean, exactly. The audacity of Jasmine. The audacity, just from A to Z. And Gino, too. He don't get to slide in this. He don't get to slide because he was already apprehensive after Natalie came to be like, you know, he actually tried to talk her out the party, to be honest. But she was like, no, everything will be all right. You know, Gino, get out of here with this nonsense. And who is arguing and fighting over Gino? All right. Let that sink in. All right. So finally, Elizabeth and Andrei. So we pick back up with them after the welcome home party. And Elizabeth is a little thrown off, okay, literally and figuratively, because she keeps saying she's not fluent in the language and is just smiling, going with the flow. And Andrei has told his family they are going to be moving back to Moldova if they had the party, the fireworks. Because Elizabeth was like, it felt like I walked into a wedding. I mean, technically, it could be a reception number 2 for you, okay, and the kids. So Elizabeth finally asked him, so what did you say to your family? He was like, I told him we're moving back home. She's like, what do you mean, babe? What do you mean? See, Elizabeth is another one that depends on the situation. She will be like, what'd you say about my husband? Want to fight too. But then when it's not in her favor, it's like, what do you think? I'm stupid? We're just here for a vacation. We haven't found any houses. We haven't found anything. I'm like, boy, oh boy. At this point, it's like, Elizabeth, do you think the viewer is stupid? You know exactly why you went to Moldova. You know that your husband wants to move back to Moldova. He wants to get you away from any family members that you might be cool with, and that's only your dad, Chuck. And Chuck is on his way there today to help you out with real estate. And like I said last week, is Chuck even licensed in Moldova for real estate? Okay. So how is Chuck really going to help you if you don't know your way around Moldova? How is your daddy going to know his way around Moldova? Like, make that make sense. But whatever, right? So Elizabeth feels like Andrei is not hearing her, and he's pressuring her to move to Moldova right now, right? And so then here come the kids. Yes, they may have jet lag, but it's that little boy is their youngest one. We don't talk about kids over here, but that little boy right there, he got some things going on. He's got some little. He need to get him some little direction, some more little manners. You don't really hear the little girl cutting up, but you hear the little boy cutting up, Winston, right? So Elizabeth's like, oh, while they're arguing back and forth, let me go get Winston. He's still severely jet lagged, and I need to get him taken to, put him together, get him ready for bed or whatever, try to put him to sleep. And Andrei's like, no, I got this. You go take you a shower and bring back some champagne. Elizabeth's like, I'm going to take a shower. See, now they're arguing about petty stuff. I'm going to take a shower because I want to take a shower. And if I get there, I get there. I'm like, this is how it go down in your household? He tell you what you know what? I just answered my own question out loud. I just answered out loud. I hope y'all followed that too. Anyway, so the next day, Chuck, or his grandkids call him Happy, has arrived to Moldova. And Elizabeth explained that they stayed with Andrei's family for a week, and then they got their own like Airbnb hotel, wherever, for the time that they're going to be in Moldova. And so Andrei is telling Chuck about, them wanting to move to Moldova and just all the different things that he wants to do while they're there visiting, right? And so Chuck is saying that Andrei is putting pressure on Elizabeth. Andrei has always put pressure on Elizabeth. I mean, is this news to Chuck? Hello? It's not news to me. I mean, if you watched their story or season, if you're new to it, this is how Andrei is. It's not news to anyone, right? So then they talk about the houses they want to look at, and then they bring up the construction project. And then that's when Andrei talked about that $75,000 that Alex had mentioned. But Andrei said that he was a silent partner, right? He didn't say that he hadn't lost any money yet. And Elizabeth admitted that she knew about the construction, but she just hasn't seen it yet. And see, Andrei's not offering up any information yet about, where it is. Because he could have been like, oh, we could go today before we go see other houses and things like that. But he didn't say nothing. He just said, I'm a silent partner and, it's going well. So, right. Anyways, so now Andrei, Chuck, Elizabeth, go out to look at some houses, and they actually stop at some two places. One is a penthouse, and one is a townhouse, right? Now, the first one, the penthouse, it was nice. It would look like it was marble floors, marble counters. It was a little narrow. I mean, it was nice. The master bedroom. Okay, listen, master bedrooms, are smaller in some places and whatever, but just like a standard room. I thought the first place was a little too tight for all of them and the kids, right? Apparently it was what, 350,000, something like that. And comparable to where they live in Florida, Chuck said it would be like 3 or 4 million. And then the same thing for the townhouse. I just didn't think that they were kid friendly, but again, I'm not experienced in Moldovan property, so how would I know? I just think that Andrei wants just to move back home to get away from the mess. But then again, if you are true to the 90-day franchise, you would know that Andrei supposedly in his original story has people after him. So why would he want to subject his family to move back to Moldova? To let the people who was after you, there's a reason why you had to leave in the first place, to know that you're back. Okay? Because sometimes things just don't like die down. So, I mean, whatever they decide to do, I don't think they're moving to Moldova. But then again, I don't follow them on any social media, so they might not. But it's not giving that they will. I can see them maybe having like a vacation house there to come whenever they visit, or whenever Andrei's going to go a little bit more often than Elizabeth. But I don't see them moving there permanently. So basically, that was the episode. We just got like little bits and pieces from a few couples. Next week, we're going to see Darcey and Georgi finally meet up with, I think it's Georgi's sister and her family. And Darcey's like, oh, I really want them to like me. You can see her standing back while Georgi's giving her sister a hug, like she's trying to be all dramatic and have a cry face, like, oh, I'm just so giving. I'm like, Darcey, just be yourself. Okay, girl, just be yourself. Let's see. We're going to see a little bit more of Gino and Jasmine next week as well. Like I said, they could keep that. And gosh, I don't even know who else is coming. We'll just have to see how it works out next week. Like I said, these episodes really are in bits and pieces. That's how I'm taking it. I don't see any real consistency as the episodes go on. But I mean, we'll see. I think for me, the only people that really have something to look forward to really is Elizabeth and Andrei separately, and then Elizabeth and Andrei with Loren and Alex and Jovi and Yara when they get together to see how all that supposed friendship is going to work out. I mean, as far as Darcey and Georgi, Tigerlilly and Adnan that just have their baby, Kara and Guillermo, I mean, what we're going to see them go to couples council, and Gino and Jasmine, the same old routine. Oh, next week, Gino and Jasmine, Matt said he's going to go out talk to Gino because apparently Matt has had enough. I'm like, that's how you fight for your girl, huh? You've had enough? Yeah, so have we. So anyways, that was really it for the episode, y'all. Not a whole lot happened. It was kind of dry, and just gave it to you in little bits and pieces. So if that's it, if anybody don't have any other comments, we'll just have to wait till next week to see what else jumps off. So, but all right, y'all. Thank you for joining. I really appreciate it. Sorry I couldn't give you more. I could only give you what the episode gave me. So everyone have a good evening, and I will see everyone in the next one. Good night, everyone. Take care. Let me